There was nobody to talk to because you're in a refuge. Your neighbor is probably somebody who had drug issues. So she's there, it's a different lifestyle. Your other neighbor is probably an Islamic woman who would not even talk to, who does not even speak English, who been through so much. So who are you going to gist with? So it is just coming to your house, watch television with the children. Children go to bed maybe 8 o'clock. Then from 8 o'clock till maybe midnight, I'll just be thinking about my life. I'll just be praying that if only I have someone. I cannot call anybody because they will warn you that you cannot be calling because nobody must know. You don't want to talk and say, okay, I'm in this refuge in Essex or something and give me. You're not supposed to do that. So that was actually why I now said, okay, instead of doing after my degree, instead of going to do a master's in psychology and stay and be doing clinical statistics and everything, I want to be able to talk with this woman, and I need the skills. I mean, this is England. I mean, I can still engage people, but you want to do it properly. You want to do it, the way it is being done. And so there are all these accrediting, but the one I'm using is the British Association of Counseling and Psychotherapy, BACAP. Yeah. And so that was, for me, that was it, because I feel our ethnic minorities, they need help.
Yeah.
Again, where a woman would explain things to a white counselor, the white counselor, due to tradition and culture, is not the same. She might not understand it. Because I remember something that happened when they wanted to take my kids away from me then. Because obviously I wasn't reporting the man. I've never called police for him and stuff. So social services were like, you're not able to look after these children. You're not protecting your children. So we are going to take them. I remember I told the woman that if you take my child from me, I'll go to the train station and I'll just stand in front of the train, let the train kill me. I'll They were like, oh my gosh, she's suicidal.
Yeah, suicidal, depression, and everything.
I mean, it wasn't like, did I mean it? I mean, I'm not going to die, but I just said it. But
it's going to affect you a whole lot using your kid.
This woman don't call police. She don't call ambulance for me. The next thing, police don't come, ambulance don't come. Like, She, oh yes, she's suicidal because she's not protecting the children. She's never called police. We know that she's going through domestic violence, but we cannot force her to press charges except she wants to. So, but the children belong to the queen. Yeah, so we'll do everything to protect the children. So we need to take the children away from her. Let her go and focus on her marriage. I said that you can't take, I will die. Even as the police were there, I said I would die. I would die. So, luckily,
it's just in our tongue, African mothers. My children, I'm dead. I'm already dead.
They would have carried me to a mental home now. What saved me that day was one of the policemen that came had come to our house in one call out a while ago, right? But when he came, I did not press charges. I even lied that there was nothing, that we were having an argument, and I fell. And that was why my mouth was swollen and everything. So they knew I was lying, but the policeman said, look, we've seen your bruises, we know you're lying. We cannot force you to make a statement. It's based on if you want to, fine, and we'll arrest him. If you don't want to. Meanwhile, the man has said, any day police will arrest me in this house. I will come back. I will come back to my house. They won't lock me up now. What did I do? I will come back, and when I come back, just be ready to die.
Hey. Can you imagine?
Ready to die. So, anytime the neighbors call the police, I'll just lie that, no, we're just having an argument, and maybe I tripped, or I wanted to run and I fell, and I hit and they said, you hit your head, and your head is okay, no problem. So the policeman said, I've been to her house, 2 call-outs. She refused to press charges. She refused to tell us the truth. So I don't think it will be fair to collect her children. And you know these Africans, the way they talk. I'm sure she didn't mean to go run into the train station. I mean, I was like, I would die. Officer, I would die. I said, okay, I know how you guys talk. Yes, you're not going to die. So it was the policeman that told the social worker that the best thing is to remove her from the property and get a place for her and her children. So the social worker was like, oh, she can't do that, she didn't plan. So the police said, okay, we will do that, because I didn't even know that police department, that they have domestic violence section in every police station. So they now said, okay, they will call the domestic violence section, let them come and give me a temporary place to stay based on when the social worker will now arrange for me to stay in a refuge. I didn't know all this. So they called the police, domestic violence. So they went to the house, they arrested him because he had beat the children the previous day. The kids went to school, reported him and stuff like that. That was even how I left the house. So they went, arrested him, helped me get some things from the house. And that was when we went to a refuge. So all this, obviously, as things were going on, I'm learning a lot. And I'm learning how the system works through experience. And so I just felt, okay, I have enough experience to help another woman. Like, I didn't know that every police station had the domestic violence unit, but now I know. So don't be afraid. All I'm telling women, don't be afraid to call the police. They are trained in domestic violence, and they have specific departments that handle domestic violence. So they understand you. Don't be afraid to call them and think, no. And especially some women will feel, oh, I don't have my papers. How? I always tell them, forget the fact that you don't have your papers. In this country, it is your life first. When they finish saving your life, then they will now find out why you don't have papers. If that man is British and he's intentionally not giving you papers and you have a child, they will make your application for you. Because they will know that the man is intentionally not giving you what is supposed to be your rights. So they will help you. They will write to Home Office. They will extend your stay if necessary. So don't be afraid. Don't let that man keep putting, or woman, because women do it as well. Women that are helping a man with his papers or something, they'll be treating the man like, I don't even know. The man will be the one taking care of the kids, cleaning the house, cooking, do everything. And they will now start with, there are men that get beaten, slapped in this country, in this United Kingdom, all because of maybe paper, or they are not working and stuff like that. So there's help out there. And the news yesterday, in fact, apart from that, 6 months ago, when they now created a domestic violence office and had a minister for domestic violence, I said, okay, so these people are beginning to know that this is a serious thing. So, yeah, I don't have and then obviously I work with Mind, because in uni I did my placement with Mind, the mental health charity, and I've been lucky enough for them to retain me. So, and my manager is like, you're so passionate about domestic violence, why don't you come and do the unit and everything? So we are structuring the units that I'm going to run, and hopefully very soon. But what we do, I have Zoom sessions where if the woman is, I always know when there's from training, and then all I have to do, I'll just look at you and I'll know what you understand, because you have to be very, very careful for the safety of the woman as well. Because most men, they don't care. They don't care that a life is lost. They don't care. So you have to be very, very careful with that. And now, all these things that they are setting up, like if you can order, if you're living with an abusive person, you can order pizza. They are even training people in takeaway restaurants. When somebody calls for takeaway, how the person is sounding. So now we are now educating women that, okay, you can call Pizza Hut and tell them that you want pizza. Once you say you want pepperoni, there are questions that they will ask you. right? And you say, oh, like I only want pepperoni. Are you alone? No. And they will know that pepperoni is police. So, that the whoever is taking that call now needs to call.
But I saw that advert actually. Someone sent something like that to my phone. The lady was battered, had sore face, and was placing a call to a pizza that she wanted pizza and all. Like, what's this for? I liked it really, but I didn't know that was what they were trying to pass. Oh,
yes.
I know it's a thing of violence, but I just didn't know if it's actually going into the pizza aspect of it, whereby you can call it the company.
When you beat, the thing with abusers, when they finish abusing and they start to apologize, and they say, oh, what do you want to eat? Please, say you want to eat something. It could be pizza, it could be McDonald's. Even the McDonald's one, there are specific burgers you can request for. The person on the other side will now be asking you specific, they are training them now, will now be asking you specific questions. So the fact that based on the way you're responding to the questions, they will know. Obviously, once you call to make an order, your address is automatically shows your phone number and everything. So they will now hand those things down to the police. So police will now come and deliver the pizza. You understand? Or the McDonald's or whatever. And the only thing that one as well is obviously maybe the men would now, or the perpetrator, because it's not only men that are perpetrators, that the perpetrator will not also understand it. So every day new things are coming in that, okay, maybe after a while, men will know that, hey, you're ordering for pizza, you come and eat that. So they will now be thinking about new things again that you could. Now, for instance, in Boots pharmacy, when you go to Boots, there's a section you will go to and seek for help. Once you enter that section in Boots, they will know you're looking for help. So let's say, for instance, your partner can be at the main counter buying something and you go there. Somebody will come and ask you, what are you looking for? You will now be saying the things you're looking for. The partner can be in the cashier point but will not know what's going on. Sorry, oh my God.
So I won't keep you for too long. You're actually very passionate about what you do. It's awesome. It's nice. If I had the time on my way, I would actually like to invite you again for another section. Not over Skype this time. Might be a one-to-one because on my, I don't know if you've been into my website. Have you been there? You have your own. If you go in there, we have a section there that speak out is like a voice. True life stories, speak out about what you don't like, racism, violence, ethnicity, culture, religion. It's just for everyone to voice out whatever you feel, what you think is not right, that you can't really tell anybody. You can write it out, you can make a video of it and give it to us, we post it out, whoever goes in there to see it. It's just like a way to air your view, no matter how it is. Yeah, I think I will invite you for one of those sections so we can have a very good talk about this. This is really lovely. Yes, you've actually said it all, because I wanted to also ask, doing this job entails a lot. There are so many challenges. You being there, what has been the most difficult, challenging moment with you if you're having a one-to-one? Because yes, you're experienced, you've gone through it. Sitting in front of a woman and hearing her lament, all she has gone through or what she's going through. How do you feel? How do you then put this together? Are you able to just sit and listen to our advice, or you break down as well?
I don't break down, which is why I'm doing the course. We've been taught not to break down. We've been taught how to listen without getting involved emotionally. As you're listening, you're thinking of ways or things to say to help the person. My most challenging situations are that a lot of the women do not want to leave an abusive relationship. They do not want to leave. They will give you, they will tell you, oh, my father, oh, my mother, oh, the children. Some will even tell you that their parents have said it's better they die. And the only thing with that one is sometimes when I hear that, I remember my own. And I'm like, I understand. Because I've been there. But another rule of the game is you must not tell anybody to leave. It's not in your place as a therapist or counselor to tell the person to leave. No, you can't. But I'll ask you questions. Open questions.
Yeah.
Questions you sit back and you think. Like, if I tell you, so how are you feeling now? And you actually think about how you're feeling. And I'll ask you, are you being fair on yourself? And you think about it. So everything I ask you is going to be about you. Before I'll even add, how do you think it feels for the children that they are not even free in their own house? They're afraid. And then I'll give you a scenario of a factual statistics scenario of how many women have died in their homes. And nothing happens. Let me tell you why I say nothing happens. Because our prison, if you go to our prison, it's nice, it's clean. You have clean beds, you have your TV, you have a TV room, you have a common room in the prison where people, if they want to play, if they are watching football, you will sit down and watch football. If you want to watch a movie, you will sit down and watch a movie. The prison is like a 2-star hotel in Africa. So that is where he will end up. And you know what? In prison, he has the opportunity to work with good behavior. He will earn money. He has the opportunity to go to school, because a lot of universities are also doing open courses with prisons. So I will let you understand that he can kill you. And in 5 or 6 years, he will get a degree. He will go and get a degree in law. So he has killed you. While he killed you, he was a laborer. By the time he spent 6 or 7 years in prison, he came out as a lawyer. Because we live in a country, they won't say, oh, you did your law degree in prison. No, the same university that is working for you and me is the same university. They just have a department to say, okay, these rehabilitating offenders, this is the cause. And it's just that most employers would not want, because, okay, that prison thing, but even the law protects them. You cannot deny anybody the opportunity to work in your organization because the person is an ex-offender. He has gone to prison, he has done his time, and if he applies to you, you must take him. If you don't take him, maybe for any other reasons, academic or anything, but you see for that degree he's showing you, where he studied it is none of your business. But that would be full time. But having 3 children, having to clock up 400 hours, how am I going to do it? That means I need to be working 12 hours. I just said, no, Victoria, do it psychotherapy part-time, 3 years, right? Finish this your counseling course. I've done the first part, another part 1 year here. So let it be gradual like that. Just say that, okay, by the time I'm 50, this is what I'm going to have achieved. So and don't let too many things stress you. I've been under so much. When I had cancer, one of the things my oncologist said is, because I kept on saying I don't have cancer in my family. How did I have this cancer? And she said, oh, maybe you stress a lot. And really and truly, I stress a lot because I'm having marital issues. He's cheating, he's beating me, I'm living on eggshells, I'm not free, I'm not comfortable. Everything is just an issue. Everything is an issue. Everything is an issue. Children are making noise is an issue. House is untidy is an issue. So I'm here sorting out the kids, sorting out the house, cooking this. When I tell people when I was married, that I remember every time I go shopping, he would demand for the receipts. And so I am calculating. I'm making sure that, okay, this 30 pounds he gives me, it has to add up. Because even if the change is 5p, he needs to see that 5p. So one time I even asked him, I said, why are you always asking me for receipts? Because me sometimes you say, because I use it for my VAT. I believed him. So one day I remember I went to the cashier and I said, please, do you use VAT for, what is VAT? So she explained to me. I said, do you use receipts? She said, no, there's no VAT on food. No, you only have VAT. You only need your VAT maybe when you buy petrol or something, but not on food.
Not on food, really. No, but you use the receipts. If you have your own company, you're running your own company, when you're going to the accountant, you use the receipts as well to get back from your tax.
Or not for food. Not for fuel, for maybe if you do something in the house.
No, yeah, construction, yeah, mileage, yeah. And food.
Not for milk and sugar.
Sort of food, yeah.
But what am I buying there? I'm only buying milk, things that we eat. But he had to tell me that for me not to understand what he's trying to do. So basically, there was no way I could save. Everything 100% was dependent on him. And when I talk to couples now on marriage and things, I always say one thing: every woman needs to be financially independent. Dependence on a husband is a trigger for domestic violence. Even if you're earning one pound, that £1, you can use it to buy your basics. That £1, you can ask, oh babes, can I have this money? Oh, I don't have. Okay. Instead of him to start getting angry and grumpy, you use your £1 and go and buy what you need to buy. Now, I always tell a woman that, or men, another thing to watch out in knowing an abusive person is when they tell you, don't worry, don't do anything, I will take care of it. There are two different types of I will take care of it. There's the loving for today, I will take care of it, but next time, better learn how to do it. And there is, don't worry, don't lift your hands, don't do anything, and God, don't worry. Because what the person is doing, the person is making you to systematically depend on him or her 100%. Now, when you're now dependent on that person 100%, and you now want something, that's an opportunity for the person to tell you your life history. And obviously, the person will give it to you, but after telling you your life history. So when you now get the thing, you don't even want it anymore. You're like, after all the abuse, I don't even, like, you know how you stay with the children and once in a while you just want to eat McDonald's, oh, maybe £20, you don't have money, you now go and beg, hey, please, can I have McDonald's, £20? When you were growing up, did you eat McDonald's? Instead of you to get that £20, don't you know that you can buy tomato, buy pepper, and you make stew? You just want to go and give it to £20. You are teaching the children how to be greedy. Meanwhile, all this lecture that I'm receiving, just for £20 for McDonald's. So now, what I do, if my kids are like, Mom, can we have this? Once I check my account, I beg, let's order, I beg, we cannot come and kill ourselves. So for me, those are the things that I'm happy that I can afford the basics. The basics that if I'm too tired to cook, thank God, even in lockdown, Uber is working, Just Eat is working. I'll buy food, we will eat. Just make sure that everything you do it in moderation. We're all human beings. I can have everything in my fridge, stew and everything. I'm just like, to make pounded yam, I can't be bothered. But what do people want to eat? And then when we eat and everybody's fine. So there's that confidence your self-worth increases with the fact that you know that I can afford this for myself. Now, when a man is like, don't go to school. You've been to school, now what are you going? I came into this country, I started living in this country 2003. one of times I used to moan about it to myself a lot. I used to cry. Like when I see most of my friends now that are maybe social workers and everything, I used to say, hey, I know when she started uni now. Now look at, she's a social worker. Look at how much she's earning. You know, it used to hurt me. And then knowing again that I used to beg this man, let me go to school. You cannot thrive in this school. You think this is Nigeria? You can't succeed in the school here. Now, you know how they study here? You can't do it. And that is one thing I've said to God, as long as I'm able to get funds to study, I will study to the highest. That is even when I get to my psychotherapy and they say, oh, Victoria, there's an opening, do you want to do a doctorate? I'll say, yes. Will you pay for me? Let me take loan. Yes, because let's be doing it. And just let God just give me the strength and the zeal to you keep pursuing it, because for years I was told I was dumb, I was ugly, I was stupid, So when I'm down and sometimes your assignments, you don't even know where to start. And I now remember that thing. I'll say, no, I'll do it. I'll keep going. So the words he has told me over the years, yes, they are quite damaging, but I use them. Whenever I need it, I bring it up and I hear it, and that assignment, I make sure say that day, I'm finishing it and I'm submitting it. Just to prove that I am not that person. And obviously, I know he sees me on social media and he sees everything I do and stuff. And one day, I was very, very happy when a family friend of ours that is still his friend saw my graduation picture and said, Victoria, how did you do it with 3 kids? So, if you could do it with 3 kids, that means all this while you were in the house and he was telling you can't do it. If he had even supported you, my ex-husband will tell me, if you go to uni, don't you know I have to pay the fees? Do you think I pluck money on the trees? Do you know how much? When I came to this country, university fees was 1,500 pounds. And even at that, you would take a loan in 2003.
Wow.
Because I became ill in 2005-06. By 2004, I was like, okay, let me go to college. Let me just go to college. He says, you have to pay. That would be too much for me. I said, okay, let me be working. By then, we weren't having kids. Let me be working, and then I'll be paying for myself. Oh. You still want to work. So you didn't even come here to start a family. Oh, you came here to make money. I didn't come here to make money. But while we are waiting for pregnancy to happen, let me be doing something. No, if you're doing something, you will not get pregnant because you'll be running up and down, you'll be stressing yourself, you'll be doing this. Just stay at home. Watch TV. I said, but in Nigeria, I was working. I was earning money now. I was working, I was earning money. I know how to handle money. Shebi, you met me, you didn't meet me. I was that's then now. Oh, sweetheart, don't worry. I don't want you to, you've suffered enough in your life. Just, you don't do anything, don't raise a hand, don't raise a finger, that is a warning sign for domestic abuse. That by the time you relax and wake up, you will find out that you don't even, after I left the refuge, I didn't know where to start. Because sometimes you're looking at your colleagues in Nigeria, this one is opening house. This one is opening shop. This one is going to Dubai to buy things. This one is going to... These are people that most of them, I even brought them into acting. Most of them are even the ones that supported them. I know people that when I was acting, I even paid their school fees. Now, my landlord's daughter, for instance, today she's a medical doctor. When she wanted to get married at a young age, I told the mom, I said, no, Mama. The mama said, I don't have money. I said, Mama, I'll pay. That time, jam form, 35 naira. I said, how much is that? 35 naira. That's what you want to. I beg. She now got admission into university, Ibadan. How much was school fees? 350 naira, 400 naira. And look at me, I was earning 50, 80,000. I said, go to school. I was paying her fees. I was sending her more. You send her 1,000 naira. She's like, hey, Auntie Vicky. I said, because I want you to focus. I don't want you to be running up and down. When she finished this thing and she wanted to go to medical school, Auntie Vicky, I said, how much is it? How much is medical school? How much was it those days? How much was it? I said, don't worry, go. I'll pay. I paid till today. That's anytime She said, Auntie Vicky, anytime, last time I went to Nigeria, if I can, all I need to go when I'm going to Nigeria, just carry my passport and my bag. From my airport to everything. And today she works in a very Remington hospital, very good hospital. She will not allow me to spend one naira. And like that. So I'm thinking to myself, me that I used to train people, I now come to London, you won't allow me go to school, you allow me work, I remember one day when I insisted I'm going to go and work. He said, I'm going to call him home office and tell them that you married me so that you use me, you come here and make money. And I said, hey, really? How? That I want to work? Then pastor will come and tell me, as a married woman, you shouldn't be more ambitious. It is a sin. Pastor will now open a virtuous woman to me. You see, a virtuous woman wakes up in the morning, she cleans the house, she baths the children, she goes to the field, she tills the ground. I heard that for years. Did you see where they say a virtuous woman went to work to earn money? No. She tills the ground. She's a farmer. And in the modern day, farmer is that you cook and you clean. That's a virtuous woman, Abi. You don't have to be ambitious. Oh, you want to go to school because your friend is a social worker. You want to go and do social work. This. And you shouldn't do that. Sometimes when I remember that, but then something tells me, Victoria, you could have been dead as well. When you had cancer, you could also have died. So leave them, let them, those are people they are making it for themselves, they are achieving. Your time is coming. So I love what I do. I'm so grateful to God for giving me this opportunity to just keep, and I'll keep talking. I'll just keep talking about it. I'll just keep talking. That's about my.
I really admire you. I admire the courage. I really love everything you do. To be frank, I really, really do. What advice? I know most of all you said so far. There's been a bit of advice in each and every one of them, but I would like to just focus on that on its own right now. If it's just 2, 3, 4 advice for the younger generations to avoid getting into things like this. I know it's difficult, you can't really tell. It's till you're already in there, you tend to start sensing and seeing all these things. What advice do you have for them? You've mentioned some of the signs. Re-emphasize on those signs and advise them on how to see this sign, how to actually relate with people to see or sense this kind of attitude. You've mentioned it before, a couple of them. I would like you to just shed more light on it again. Like, these are the signs you see. These are the things you will do. Call for help if need be or whatever it is. I don't know. It's you. You're the one. You're the right person to say this to those people now. Just I'll stop there. Just advice.
Okay. First and foremost, the environment matters in the kind of advice that you give.
Okay.
In Nigeria, telling a woman to leave an abusive relationship is like pouring water on the rock. Too many things are involved. That man that is beating her up might be the man paying her brother's school fees. That man beating her up might be the man paying her family's medical fees in the hospital. So it's not going to work. Yeah. There are signs there. There are families that intentionally allow their daughters to be second, third, fourth wives to abusive men just because of what they can get from the man.
Right.
So in a situation like that, so a lot of times, I don't know, I'm an Igbo girl, a lot of times Hannah see that there's a parable that says, Adawa Anyebo na Bukari scapegoat. The first daughter in a family is always the scapegoat. She's always the one that they will marry out quickly because the husband will come and help the family. So she has to go. And then whether the man is beating her, is killing her, that one is. So in a situation like that, and see, Nigeria is a very hard country. There is suffering. Who do you want to help? Who do you want to leave? nothing is working there. A lot of the men there, they didn't even come from a functioning home. A lot of the men also came from abusive homes where they feel violence is the only way of communication. Violence is all they know. Where do you start from? A lot of the times, my advice, I always go to the parents, to the mothers, and say, don't beat your children. Every time I mention it in social media, people attack me. What do you mean, don't beat your children? They beat me in Nigeria. That is why I'm responsible today. And I always say, no, it is not the beating that made you responsible. You just decided to be responsible out of fear. The beating would have killed. Did you know how many parents have hit their child and killed the child? So now, in Nigeria, we have a pandemic of violent parents having and teaching their children. Okay, a child is stubborn, right? Okay, what stops you from communicating with that child with your mouth and action? Action in the sense that, okay, you take his toys away. You know, you deny him of something that, look, see, even if you cooked rice that day and rice is his favorite food, you will tell him today you're eating eba. You're not eating this rice because you were stubborn. That one will even hurt him. That everybody is eating rice and chicken and you are eating eba from yesterday's soup. There are so many ways you can punish a child without raising your hand to hit the child, because the child will grow up to feel that, okay, I cannot voice it out, I can use my hands. So the cycle is repeating itself. Again, you now come here to the UK. It's easier to notice the signs when the guy basically gaslights you in every situation, blames you for everything, tells you if not for you. Even when he is angry, he will tell you that it is because you made him angry, that's why he's angry. There are signs that you will notice when a guy just likes to talk and pick once there's a disagreement, you will not hear the end of that disagreement. Then you will know. So here it is easier to notice those traits in a guy, because obviously you would expect that, okay, I'm having a misunderstanding with him, we've talked about it, and end of, we move on. Not 3 hours later, he's talking about it. Next week, something happens, we're talking about what happened 2 weeks ago. And then he's blaming you all of a sudden for it. No. Or somebody is not having a good day and they are blaming you for not having a good day. All these triggers you can notice from here and say, oh no, not this person, no way. I know your type. Right? You can avoid from then on.
Yeah.
But it always starts from excessive love, possessive love, even from phone call. You can know the trigger from phone call. A guy will call you, maybe you're busy, you didn't answer, you call. He will send a message. He's not sending the message of, are you okay? Where are you? Why are you not picking my call? Like I'm busy. Every time I call you, you have to leave whatever you are doing and pick my call. That's alarm bells ringing. It used to happen to me. I could be doing something and, he will call. I have to leave everything I'm doing and answer that call. If not, when he comes back to the house, hey. My ex-husband will be the type of person that, even if you're talking to your father, he will tell you, even if you're talking to your father's time in your life has expired. It is now me. You tell your daddy, my husband is back. Can I call you later? And you have to drop that phone. So these little things are the things that, there are ways that the guy will show care. He calls you and you don't, you should know that, oh, sweetheart, I called you. Can you call me back? Not he's excessively calling you and then, where are you? When are you coming back? What are you doing? Who are you with? I want to do a video call. I want to see who you're with. I want to see what you're doing. Hey, that's a trigger. You need to know that sign that it is not going to work. Somebody came to me with I was counseling somebody, and then the person was like, she has a better job. She lives in a big house. In fact, she has bought her house because she works in IT. The guy is okay. He's renting a 2-bed house, and he tells the guy, okay, come and move into my house that is already a 4-bed house. The guy says no. She has to move into his 2-bed house. And the girl says, well, you're going to inconvenience me because I'm used to my space and everything. I work hard for it. She even told the guy that, okay, come and pay me rent. As in, every month, say this is the rent. As in, it is my house, but because you're paying the rent, let's say you're now the boss, just to make it. He said, no. The girl now says, when she now finished talking, I said, okay, ask him if both of you can contribute money, rent out your house, and go and rent out somewhere else, neutral. 2 of you will now be paying your rent. The guy said, no, you have to come and move into my 2-bed. So, of course, now when I finished counseling her, I told her that, I said, what do you want to do? I'm not going to tell you what to do, because I gave you an option that both of you should, go and move into a neutral house together. And he said no. So obviously by now, you know what he's trying to do. I don't need to tell you what to do. I'm not going to tell you don't get married or get married. It's left to you. She sent me a text a few weeks later and said, Victoria, I thought about what you asked me, and I don't think I can marry him because he's going to break me. And yes, he's going to break you. He's going to move you from that your 4-bed house where you are comfortable, and he's going to cage you into that place. And he knows you earn more. So in future, he's not even going to say, let's move out, because if he doesn't want to move out now, he's never going to want to move out. So even though she made the offer and said, okay, I know what you're earning and everything, I will pay more of the rent. But let's just now go to a neutral place. It's not my house, it's not your house. He said, no. So obviously those are triggers that you should know that no. Whereby a man insists that it is what he says or final, then you should know. You should know that that is how it's always going to be. He's never going to change. So a lot of times we do see these things. Mine, when I think about my own also, and which till date I don't support, is long distance relationships, because most of the time he was here and I was in Nigeria. So I will come to London, I'll stay in my dad's house and then I'll stay with him before I go back to Nigeria. So obviously the few weeks I'll stay with him now, he can comport himself, he can endure for that 2-3 weeks and behave himself. And then I go and it was only when I now felt pregnant that I now came. Obviously I couldn't be traveling up and down. I now came, and that was when the things, it got to a stage, I would say in my early, even after baby, I was just thinking to myself, I was seeing little signs, because the arguments. And another thing again, when you ask a man questions and he doesn't want to answer, that is another sign that something is wrong. Like you tell a man, oh, have you been married before? No. Were you in a relationship? No. And then later, you will now remember, okay, I was in a relationship. So were you married? No. Then there's a lie, because at the time you asked the question, he didn't want to answer you because he was still thinking and planning on what he was going to say to you. Because under normal circumstance, when you're talking with a guy and you ask a guy questions, the guy is supposed to tell you, oh yes or no, immediately, not I'll talk to you later. And then sometimes when you ask him too many questions, oh, you're asking too many questions. Curiosity kills the cat, Sometimes what you don't know won't hurt you. Okay, what I don't know won't hurt me. So that means if I know, it's going to hurt me. So come on, tell me now. So when you hear certain things like, oh, curiosity kills the cat, or what you don't know won't hurt you, please know. So that tomorrow it will not be a surprise that, okay, I wanted to tell you, but you were too this, they'll put everything back at you. You were too impatient. You were too this, you were too that. So those are the signs, to be honest, sometimes the signs are there, but we ignore it. Either we are thinking we can change some. I always tell, see, please, you cannot change any adult. You can change a child 0 to 10. After 10 years, any mannerism or character that child has imbibed from, you can't change it. Which is why this lockdown, one of the things they are afraid of for the children is lack of routine. Now they are saying, these children are used to sleeping late, waking up late, this. So they are even begging parents, please keep your routine with the kids. Although, once school resumes, a lot of the children will be dozing off in class in the first week, because that time in class is when they play or when they are asleep. So now you're going to have to retune their brain on how to wait, of which I have told my children. I said, look, it's looking like June. So what's going to happen now? 8 o'clock is our bedtime. We're going to start 8 o'clock. So from tomorrow, 8 o'clock bedtime, you go to bed, you wake up early in the morning. Don't worry, wake me up. I don't mind. You wake up early in the morning, do what you're supposed to do. Then, thank God, the teachers are on Google Classroom and everything. They will now come. They will just continue that routine. So you cannot say that a man who likes to club every Friday, for instance, that when you get married to him, he's going to change. No, sister, he's not going to change. Before you marry him, you need to talk about his clubbing habits. Maybe that time, you both used to go to the club, but sister, you cannot carry 7 months pregnancy and be going to club. So you have to know that, okay, this guy, let's talk about this thing. Not, okay, when the baby comes, Shebi, he will see the baby is here. No, when the baby comes, he will still go out.
Of course.
And he will come back in the morning. So you cannot change anybody. If you know you want anything, or you want to marry somebody and there's something you're dealing with in the relationship, discuss it before you enter that marriage. If you know you do not like his mother, please do not marry him and think he's going to chase his mother away from you. If you cannot deal with his family members and his mother is overbearing, I always leave him and his mother alone.